Greetings and salutations. Once again, we're back with some more One Talent Challenge. Now, if you've missed the previous episodes of One Talent Challenge, this is how it works. I am allowed to use skills that are granted to me by an item, like Molten Boulder or the Werebear. I'm allowed to use those because they were granted to me by an item. I'm only allowed to invest into one talent per difficulty. So I have Ravens all the way through normal, and that's it. Once I hit Nightmare, I can then put a point into any one of these others that I want. And that's up to me. I'm probably going to choose Spirit Wolf because it does cold damage and it also synergizes with Raven. And that'll be the only thing I can put into for all of Nightmare. And then once I get to Hell, I can choose one more. Now, that's where my build might get just a little weird, because I'm thinking about doing Firestorm and doing almost like a hybrid blend. Reason being is things might be immune to physical, immune to cold, and then my Ravens and my Wolves do no damage. There lies the problem. Oh, this is going to be very bad. This is a very bad start. Recently, I've been doing a lot of Call of Duty, which, for most people, they don't. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Some people like my But Will It Snipe series. Some people don't, and that's fine. I mean, each person's got their own preferences and proclivities. And being able to, just take a step back from it and do this Diablo series, which I love to play Diablo. I love doing this One Talent Challenge. And in some of this in some of the One Talent Challenges, I think they are almost downright impossible. But it's one of those, you never really know how challenging it is until you try it. Druids kind of have it easy because Raven's damage is so high. So you can pretty much get away with just using Ravens throughout all of normal. Like, for example, look at this. It does 73 to 94 per hit for 31 hits. That's to quote Billy, not Billy Mays. To quote, what is his name? He does the advertisements. Phil Swift. To quote Phil Swift, that's a lot of damage. So it's an interesting little thing. The other classes that I've tried it with are barbarians. Barbarians have a tough go of it. I've tried it. I might do a barbarian. I might try a barbarian next. But that's only going to matter if I either die or complete the challenge. Now, when does this challenge end? Well, this challenge ends when either my druid dies or I complete hell difficulty. If I can complete hell difficulty in hardcore, then the challenge is over because I've managed to do it, and I will try a new class. If my druid dies, the challenge is over, and I try a different class. This obviously can't be done in other things like Diablo 3 or 4 anymore because it just doesn't work. This is really the only one you can do it in. Ooh, Eisenhearts. It's an interesting pickup. I did have Eisenheart's case, but I think I sold it. Because I didn't see a need of keeping it because what was I going to do with it? I know, I could have put it in the shared stash, but I don't do that. For the One Talent Challenge, I just go without anything. I don't use any shared stash or anything else. It's all self-found items, if they're applicable for the build, and that's it. I've tried, back to the One Talent Challenge things, I've tried Paladin. Paladin's not that bad, because you can use Thorns as, your mainstay of damage, and you just basically get a whole bunch of stamina, and then you have Thorns damage. Smite is another Paladin ability that really helps out, because then you can just put all your points into Strength and increase your Smite damage that way, because Smite has no attack rating, so you don't have to worry about missing your attack. But doing Smite is a little bit harder, because you have to A, be in melee range, number one, and B, you have a constant need of mana. Like when you run out of mana with Smite, you are effectively stranding yourself. And that's not good. That's not good at all. And the reason why this video looks a little bit different, why the lighting's different, is I'm filming during the daytime, and not filming, but recording during the daytime, and I've got a window right to my right. So if the natural lighting works better than the artificial lighting that I normally use, I might just switch to a daytime recording. I mean, I'm just kind of toying around with it. That, and I've got other obligations that I've got recently. A friend of mine is on vacation, and I have to go over every so often and check on his dogs. Make sure they're not, tearing up the house or making a mess, and to be there for them, because dogs get lonely. So, that's why I'm also recording during the day. Normally, I just, right near the end of the night, I record videos, slap them together, put on the old title screen, the thumbnail. Which, by the way, I make my own thumbnails. So if my thumbnails look like amateur hour, now you know why. I make them myself. Okay, I didn't really need to fight Isuel again, but here we are. So this is a great time to sit here and talk about other things, because Isuel takes forever, as you can see. So, what I wanted to mention was Call of Duty Black Ops 6. I know it's kind of a weird juxtaposition from Diablo, but at the same time, having played recently Call of Duty, the beta, I think it is one of the best Call of Duties I've played in recent history. And I've played, recent Call of Duties. We're talking, I played Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1, Modern Warfare 2 and 3, and stuff like that. So, and I also played Vanguard. And if I had to rank them, I would say Black Ops 6, in terms of fun factor, just fun factor, Black Ops 6, Vanguard, Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 1. And that's just my fun factor rating. Now, nothing else really gets accounted for that, other than, did I have fun playing it? That was it. And the reason why Vanguard is so high is because, honestly, I could shoddy snipe with it, and I could do a lot of other things with it. I'm talking, when I say shoddy snipe, I'm talking 100-meter long shots, and they were dead accurate. It was beautiful, all right? But for those that ride the fence on Black Ops 6, I recommend it for sure. For sure. It's a lot of fun. Now, there are, in other games that I've been doing, I did put some other stuff on the channel. I did put some Pokemon Regulation H battles, and I rather like Regulation H, but I have to make other members for my teams that are a better slot for the team, because I noticed with a couple of those teams they just kind of struggled a bit. And again, that might not be everybody's thing, but it might interest some people. It might not interest some people. I know that a lot of people out there that play Pokemon Go, and the way I see it is, if you're playing Pokemon Go and you've never tried a mainstream, like not mainstream, but mainline Pokemon game, like generational game, give it a shot. And I strongly encourage anybody to also get into the competitive battling scene. It's not as competitive as you think. It's not like there's a whole bunch of like sweats out there, like esports teams constantly being like, "Oh yeah, well I'm the best at insert this here," and then tooting their own horn. You don't have that, those esports, chads out there trying to prove to everybody that they're number one. You've got people from all over the world that come into the the competition, and some of them have esports teams, some of them don't. I think a lot of them don't actually have esports teams because it's a lower. Ugh, that's a horrible military pick. Yeah, that's awful. And it's ethereal, so it's not going to sell for beans. I don't know. On to the next thing, I guess. But no, the Pokemon battling scene doesn't really have like a big esports thing. So it's more enjoyable, I would say, than say like Dota or Teamfight Tactics or like Valorant. Now, of course, that's subjective. The other thing that I have a problem with like Valorant is both Valorant and Teamfight Tactics and League of Legends, all of them, actually cause your computer to install something to the rootkit. Now, if you don't know anything about PCs, installing to the rootkit is basically saying you're allowing this program to have kernel access to your computer, which means they can change your computer at a kernel level and control your PC. They effectively could. It could be a way to compromise a system if they had ill intent to do so. Now, I don't know how many games do that, but I know that Riot Games has openly said that multiple times, and there's other games out there that also do the same thing, and the developers think, oh, it's no big deal to just give the kernel access to your computer, and it's like, yeah, it's actually a big deal. That's almost like handing a stranger the key to your house. You know what I mean? You don't want to hand a complete stranger, the key to your house. You don't want to hand kernel access to a company. Essentially. It's like, I'll give you a scenario. Let's say you hand kernel access to Riot Games. And one day, you decide that you're just going to go on their forums and mention something about a balance patch that they made. Something you may not have agreed with. Whatever. It could be a champion that you think is overpowered and they continue to buff it even though it's overpowered. So you make that post on their forums, and you want to try to give feedback about the game and how to change it. At least give them feedback they may not be getting. These people, though, take it the wrong way and then think, well, okay, he doesn't like our game, so because we have kernel access to his computer, they just access some other file on your PC that has access to your credit card information, and then it automatically starts charging you for stuff. The company could do that as a form of punishment. Is it legally binding? Well, yes, you agreed to the terms that allowed them kernel access. And can that be done? Well, probably. I mean, I'm no computer expert, but I'm pretty sure something like that could happen. This is why you never give kernel access to any game on your computer. And if you have, I recommend a format and then never installing that again. Now, that's going to alienate a lot of people because they like Valorant and they like Teamfight Tactics and they like, League of Legends. I have not installed League of Legends on this PC. I will not install Valorant because it's not my wheelhouse. And I will not install Teamfight Tactics or League of Legends. As much as I liked Teamfight Tactics on my previous setup, on my previous PC, which has since been formatted, I just don't care for it now. Like, they just kind of lost me, right? But other games in the future, as far as I know, don't give kernel access. There's a lot of them that aren't, and that's a good thing. Now, there's other free games on Steam and everything that are really good. Apparently, you have to get invited to the game called Deadlock. It's a solid game, I hear. That's on Steam, but I think that's just the project name. I think it's just called like Project Deadlock on Steam. but from what I've heard, it's a really solid title. A lot of people like it, and it's interesting that Steam's coming out and making. I think it's going to be a free to play game, and it's just said, oh well, we're making this game, and then all of a sudden, everybody's interested and it could print money, much like anything else Steam touches, which is, I would say, is the humorous part. Is Steam doesn't really have to do much of anything. They could just be like, we've invented, not even invented, we've just decided to recreate this. It could be cookie clicker, right?
What do you need?
And everybody just sees it on Steam and, just has to have it. And they start, like, getting all...
Hello.
I can't even say antsy, but they're just... They need it in their life. And that's exactly what they think. They think, oh man, I need that in my life. Because it's a Steam game. Name one Steam game that flopped. And I don't mean a game launched on Steam. I'm saying a game that Valve put their money behind that flopped. Oh man, if I was a sorceress, that'd be huge. That's 2 to Blizzard, 3 to Firewall. Oh, the repair on that would be nasty though. Because look at that, it's got charges. Just for fun. Look at that repair cost. 20,000 gold. But it sells for 20,000. So why repair it? Just sell it. But no, it's... I want anybody to name a game. Yeah, see, that's shared stash that I haven't used. That's from other characters. That's from old characters. Old hardcore characters. And those old hardcore characters are still alive, but they're from last season and the season before. And this one was from just this previous season, and he was a seasonal ladder character in the beginning of this video series, but has since become non-ladder because the ladder season ended and they went to a new one. So that's why the shared stash showed up. I worry about those pit lords. Those pit lords with their fire breath is really nasty. Actually, what is my fire resist? 51%. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, go get them, Ravens. There we go. Now I don't have to go over there and get ambushed. But back to what I was saying about, like things like the Pokemon series and esports and Valve making a game. Like, Valve made Portal. Well, actually, they didn't make Portal. 2 guys made Portal, and back then it was called Narbacular Drop. But Valve bought the rights for Portal. And, like, when's the last time Valve made a game that was awful? They don't. The Half-Life series, Valve doesn't make horrible games. They just don't. So pretty much anything Valve touches turns to gold. Knowing that, Deadlock's going to be turning to gold. Sure. The first Descendant, they say, is pretty good. I haven't played it. There's like Darkest Dungeons or whatever. That's kind of like Dark and Darker, but faster paced. I haven't played that yet either. I kind of want to try it. But these are not Valve creations. But they're just good free games on Steam, From what I've heard. They're met with overwhelming positive reviews. There are other games that I would love to try for free. I did put my... I did have my Hearthstone account. I still do. I have it. I put my Hearthstone game up on... up as a video, and it was a Battlegrounds game, to be honest. But at the same... Ooh, crown. It might be a socket. Nope, ethereal. Go away. It is a socketed crown, but it's also ethereal, so... However... Oh, wait. He's fire enchanted. Okay. I encourage people to get into like free games. Now, like let's take card games for example. Card games like um, Magic the Gathering, and I'm not talking like the in-person Magic the Gathering. I'm talking purely from the perspective of the digital card game of Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering Arena. Arena seems like it's a great game to get into, but its structure of how it's done seems very tilted toward if you have more money, or more dollars than cents, so to speak. Which, I get it. Company wants to make money, but Wizards of the Coast, and Hasbro make quite a bit of money as it is off the physical card game. So, knowing that, I don't think Magic the Gathering Arena is the card game that people should get into. And I've played Yu-Gi-Oh! And the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game is a little, I'd have to say, is a little bit easier to get into in terms of free-to-play, because when you first start out, you get, this is the Duel Masters, the digital Duel Masters of Yu-Gi-Oh! When you first start out, they give you a lot of, like, you get this deck, and then you get these cards for free, and then those cards for free through the tutorial, and this card through a reward track, etc. Ooh, Ral. I need runes. But they give you a fair amount of cards through the reward track, but nothing really outstanding. And then when you look at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta, it literally comes down to the coin flip. It's, did I get the card that I need to win the game on the coin flip? If you flip the coin, and guess what? You lose. Because if you go second, you're pretty much going to lose in Yu-Gi-Oh! I hate to say it. But that's how the meta has gone in Yu-Gi-Oh! So, while it is easier to get into in terms of, like, cards, and getting free digital cards to get into the game, it's harder to get into and be enjoyable because the learning curve is so steep that getting into it seems insurmountable, right? And then you have the third overall card game, which is Hearthstone. Now, I know there's more card games than that, but I'm talking like large digital trading card games. I used to not recommend Hearthstone because it was so difficult to get into unless you sat there slaving away on it, making gold so that you can purchase cards. But that's gotten easier. With the addition of the reward track and the addition of other things in the game, like, if you're a starting character, they give you loaner decks to try out, and then whatever one you like the best, you get to keep after the trial period, and they give you all those cards. For nothing. As well as you earn packs to open to get more cards to boost your set. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, the cards they give you aren't meta compliant. They're not going to help you win meta games. Well, I would have said yes to that, but I would be wrong. A guy who plays, he plays all the card games as much as he can because he loves them. He goes by the name Rarin on YouTube. He's actually a solid Hearthstone player as well. He makes Legend almost every single season. He played completely free to play. He purchased no cards from the pack. He purchased no cards from the store. The only cards he was able to get was cards he got earned through the reward track, cards he could earn through the game itself, and whatever he could disenchant his cards into for dust to craft other cards. Now, if he earned gold through the game, then he could buy packs with that gold to try to get different cards. And he did it. He managed to make Legend with a completely free-to-play account. So these decks are meta compliant. They can compete in the meta. So that just take that as a little bit of a thing. I play the game completely free to play. I don't buy a whole bunch of cards, and I don't do what's called whaling out. I don't sit there and slam down $80, $90 on decks, on packs of cards every single expansion series. I don't do that. I literally just play free to play because that's what I enjoy. Sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes you don't get those wins. Sometimes it boils down to there's a card that you don't have that is exactly what you need to win the game at that time. For example, the one I don't have is he's in Titans. He's in the Titans expansion, and it's Yogg Saron. I think it's Yogg Saron. And he's a Titan, and that as a Titan, he's very strong because he can mind control a single unit, he can force all the units to attack one another, and he can fill your hand with chaotic tendrils. Now, the filling your hand with chaotic tendrils, meh. It's usually the mind control and the other thing, you take a big minion or you clear the board, essentially. And those two effects are very powerful. So, I don't have him, and I've noticed that without him in my decks, my loss percentage against him actually skyrockets. Because it's something you could just jam down on turn 9, and you're talking a big problem. Now, there's other ways around it. The other ways around it are, you can just play around Yogg. You can either put out a big minion and then bait out Yogg, stealing it, which if you can do that, you would make a big minion, they jam down the Yogg, and then they steal the minion, and then you play a card like Death Roll for Hunter, which causes them to take damage based on the minion's strength. Or based on the minion's power. So there is ways to kind of bait people into basically being their own demise using Yogg. And it's got its ups and downs, but it's a fun game. I might play a little bit more of Hearthstone. I might actually do some ranked climbing of Hearthstone in a video. Not so much the battlegrounds. I mean, I like the battlegrounds there, but I might just do ranked Hearthstone just for funsies. I don't know. I'm kicking that around in my head. I do like the Pokemon battles, though. And like I said, I recommend people get into that. I recommend people get into... Like, Hearthstone's a free game, so getting into that's, like I said, costs you nothing. And you can get meta-compliant decks that cost you nothing. So, what's better than free, right? Now, obviously, they're going to try to inspire you to purchase cards, but you don't necessarily have to. I've earned 2,000 gold recently in Hearthstone to buy the mini set that's coming up for Perils in Paradise, which I haven't even seen the rest of the card reveals. Because I like to sit there and look at the card reveals, and I like to put them together in such a way that it helped. Yeah, because I have that very strategical, calculating mind, and so if I sit there and I think about it enough, I can put together a deck that's a little bit offbeat, and it's just fun. Like, for example, I have a shaman deck. You know what? I might make that my third video of the day. Not of the day, but might make the third video that I record today, because I have to record 3 anyway. And the one video I'm gonna probably do is I'm gonna do 2 Diablo videos, one for today, not today, but when this goes up, it'll be one for today, and then one for tomorrow, and then the third day after that is going to be a Hearthstone video, and it's going to be me playing my Highlander Shaman. I'll explain that when I get there. But trust me, when I get there, when I get to the Highlander, well, he's dead. That's not a good thing. Like I said, these Venom Lords, they're going to be the death of me. It's that fire breathing, man. But yeah, I do need my mercenary. Oh, that bone wand is awful. Yep. Then hey, I'm making my way through Act 4.
What do you need?
I'm gonna let this video run long though, because I'm almost to Diablo.
What do you
All I have to do is hit all of the 5 points to release him, and then I fight him. If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose, you know? And then it's Act 5. And when it comes to this, I'm going to jump topic from the whole Hearthstone thing. When it comes to this, it's about positioning. Because you can't really you can't let them surround you, and you have to be very aware of where everything is, so that you're not, you know, walking into a complete slaughter. And by being very aware of where you're traveling, you can reduce. I can't say eliminate, but you can certainly reduce the amount of damage you and your mercenary can take. My mercenary's gonna die again.
Thanks.
Mercenary takes a lot of damage, and I wish there was a way that I could get more resistances on him right now, but short of putting a breastplate of resistance on him, I don't think I can. Even then, it would have to be like a ghost armor of resistance, because he needs the armor as well. But then again, he does need the EXP. Back off and reposition a little bit.
Thanks.
Give him that. Oh, undead and mana burn. Well, that's never a good thing. Oh, the rejuvenation potions are great, especially for instantly healing large chunks of health. Ow. The only reason I'm wearing a shield on this druid is generally I like to wear a bow with the thorns damage, but I can't make it yet because I don't have the runes. It's called Edge, and when I wear the Edge bow, it gives me like level 18 thorns. Problem there is there's only one person that can benefit from the thorns aside from me, and that's my minion, my merc. The ravens don't get the thorns damage because they don't have unit collision. Once I get into Nightmare, though, and I get the wolves can get the benefit of thorns. See? Right there, I avoided that damage because I avoided the actual spirit, bone spirit. Wait, how many keys do I have? 3. Should probably pick that up. I'm not going to touch any of these seals yet. Not until everything here is dead. Okay. We're gonna open this one. We're gonna back up and collect ourselves. Because those guys are extra fast and I think extra strong. And he's already dead. Extra fast spectral hit. Yeah. Yeah. Extra fast spectral hit. They just shattered my dude in like 2 seconds. That's why I don't like them.
Greetings.
It's much easier in, as odd as this is going to sound, it's much easier in Nightmare. Because then I have more things being a front line. And he's dead again. Good. He's down. It's unfortunate that I had to lose my mercenary again. I shouldn't have to do as much portal jockeying on Diablo, because I think Diablo is just we're just gonna try to sit in one spot. Whoa. He's also not Diablo's not spectral hit, ruining my life. Lifesteal, but it isn't worth really a heap of beans, is it?
I'll put that to good use.
Oh, good. You don't have any more lifesteal, so I think they're gone. Pit Lords are the worst. They are the absolute worst. It's that fire breath, because it just absolutely dissolves your life total. The red lightning that Diablo does is absolutely brutal too, but it's avoidable. Back in the day, Iron Maiden used to be the killer of people. These people come flying in here like, I know what I'm doing, and then they'd get popped with Iron Maiden. It just absolute death. Grand Vizier of Chaos. Nope, 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 nope. These aren't as bad because they're Stormcasters. So they're just kind of like, it is what it is. Yeah. See? And then up here, the Lord Desace, he's not that bad either. He's got fanaticism, and that's kind of a... yeah. But outside of that, he's... well, he might have the lower resist aura, too. If he comes with lower resist, that's a problem. Because then he hits like an absolute truck. It's not lower resist, it's called Conviction Aura, I believe. If I recall correctly. I haven't played a Paladin in years. So... and we're here. Oh, he's got good. He's got the fanaticism. Normally, you sit there and you're like, oh, wow, he's got fanaticism. That's terrible. Then you realize that's not that bad, comparatively.
Thanks.
Boy, we're gonna go into... we're gonna either kill Diablo or go into Act 5. One or the other. Grab those up.
Impossible.
Let's find out what this axe is first, shall we?
Yes.
I'd hate to die not knowing. Ooh, +1 to combat skills on a barbarian.
Hail to you,
That's
champion.
absolutely nice. Doesn't help me because I don't have a barbarian. I might try a barbarian next. We'll see. Let's do this. No. There he is.
Thanks.
Okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. It's gimmicky, but I'll take it. Hey, things are looking up, though. See? Positioning. I was saying this earlier. It's all about positioning. There we go.
Thus ends.
That was the biggest dirtbag maneuver I've ever done. Absolute gigantic dirtbag maneuver there, but you know what? I'll let it slide. I'm good. I'm not gonna sit there and kick a gift horse in the mouth. At least not on this. Beautiful.
I knew.
Okay, well, we are moving on to Act 5.
What
Yeah, the
happened
the
here?
Diablo kill was a little gimmicky, but I'll let it happen. Oh man, that's such a good weapon, but it's ethereal, so it's poo. Chance of open wounds, bonus attack rating. You know what? You want to know what? I'm gonna use it till it falls apart. How about them apples? Oh no, no, that cleaver's got to go. That's not a bad thing, but I'm not gonna use it. That cleaver's got to go. Oh, I didn't want that cold damage charm. That cleaver's awful. Oh yes, it gives you bash charges. That's exactly what I need for my available budget to hit the skids. That'd be great. And we're gonna watch the cinematics, like I always do.
I heard later that he was defeated. And that the soul stones were destroyed in hellforge. All except one.
The voice actor is still. I mean, I'm glad they didn't change him.
Oh, I failed, Tyrael. I couldn't do as you asked. I couldn't enter that gate. Forgive me, Tyrael. Forgive me.
He's such a good voice actor.
Marius, give me the stone, and all is forgiven. Give it to me, Marius.
Take it. Take it, take it. I'm glad this is finally over, Tyrael. Look what the stone has done to me.
You haven't failed, old man. You've done exactly as you were meant to do. However, I am not the Archangel Tyrael. You have done well, Marius. Now I think you shall have your reward.
What have I done to deserve
Well, at least he put Marius out of his misery, though. I mean, it is what it is. This is what I meant about the episodic storytelling. Like, playing through it the first time, you didn't expect it to be like Bale. You kind of figured it out as you were going along, but it just you didn't. I mean, it was one of those small plot twists, right? Yeah, look, it's Lord of the Rings. Or what's that other one called? I never watched it. Game of Thrones. I never watched Game of Thrones. It was Game of Thrones because it's got that whole winter is coming vibe. But then again, that's me talking through memes, so it's like everybody knows that meme. Like, why would they extend the bridge? He never walks across it. He announces himself from across the bridge. Why did you extend the bridge? Just leave it as a gap. Let them build the bridge across. Imagine his job.
Bail! The gates of Secheron have stood for eons beyond remembrance, and you shall not breach them now. Remove your foul demons from our lands. We stand on the side of light. You shall not be allowed to reach Mount Ariat, and that which you seek will not be yours.
Enough! Enough!
I shall take your position into consideration.
See, like, compare this to the artistry of, like, recent times.
Well, it seems your terms are not acceptable.
You know, if Blizzard ever did a point where they wanted to put like rootkit on people's PCs, I would hit him with that GIF. It seems your terms are not acceptable. They have their own. That's their own phrase comes back to haunt them. That'd be great. You gonna make it, game? Okay, there we go. Gonna go around and talk to all the ne'er-do-wells before I end this video. I mean, yeah, this one went long, 51 minutes, and I gotta tell you, the Diablo kill was kind of gimmicky, but hey, we made it. Got a couple hurdles left to go. One of the hurdles is the Mount Ariat champions. That's going to be a problem, and the other hurdle is going to be Baal himself. I don't know how good or bad that's going to be, because Baal can just kind of put tendrils through the floor, and he can copy himself, so I may die on Baal. Who knows? We'll find out. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I did. It did run long, but I wanted to finish Act 4 straight away. I will be making another video right after this, which is going to be the first part of Act 5. So we'll see what happens. And hope everybody has a fantastic evening, a wonderful tomorrow, and as always, have a good one.